Guys, welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And indeed, this is a live news show for movie fans, where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day, including what's going on with Kathleen Kennedy and that weird Star Wars quote that she just came out with. Oh, it's not good. Viggo Mortensen returning to Lord of the Rings? Yes, please. Exorcist is going to get a reboot. It's a day for reboots. He-Man and reboots on today's movie news headlines. Let's get into it, starting off with that He-Man story that broke yesterday. Nicholas Galitzine to play He-Man in the long-delayed Masters of the Universe film at Amazon MGM. Long-delayed is the key word here. This movie has been trying to get off the ground for the better part of a decade, if not more. I don't know what's going on here. It's not a tough, it shouldn't be a tough thing to crack. You get a big, strong man, like someone who could fill out He-Man's frame, and you fight over Castle Grayskull and putting the two swords together. That's about it, right? No, apparently it's more difficult than that. I don't understand. But anyway, Nicholas Galitzine is our guy. There he is right there. First impressions. If you saw my reaction yesterday, that's special. Fine. Basically, what you're telling me here is that he may be the greatest of actors, but He-Man, he is not. Okay? And I don't care if it doesn't come out for another 2 years. He's got time to put on masks, James. He's got time to put on masks. It's like the creators, the producers, didn't even bother to watch the source material. That's what I get from this. And I know that there's going to be some, perhaps, Galitzine defenders out there. Abby Bow is now being listed as She-Ra, which I would like to see because I like She-Ra. I don't know anything about this Abby Bow. Nothing ever happens. She's only acted in 5 things. Well, Kinds of Kindness. That's, Kinds of Kindness is that new Yorgos Lanthimos film, right? That's coming out at the end of the month here. Not this month, next month, right? Down the Rabbit Hole, Hurricane, and so not a lot of stuff for her. So maybe it was a chemistry test, but they're cousins, so they're not lovers. Okay, she's got maybe a little bit of She-Ra look to her. Okay, I can roll with that, but I can't roll with Nicholas Galitzine as He-Man. I know, I don't understand it. I don't care if he's like, it's kind of like having Yoda read for the part of Darth Vader. Like, that's how weird it is, guys. It's like, it just doesn't fit. I don't care if Yoda is a good actor. He does know how to use the Force, but it doesn't make him right for the part. I'm not seeing it. And don't give me that BS of, well, you haven't read the script. You don't know the angle of what they're going for. I don't know the angle of what they're going for. Guys, I grew up with He-Man. I know exactly what He-Man's supposed to look like and be like. It's like you don't understand what He-Man is about when you do this kind of thing. And this is what has been going on in Hollywood, where it's kind of like they get this idea of, we want this person, we want to work with this person, we want this person to be the next big star. We'll cast them as anything. And it's like, you're putting this guy in our face, and how many times do tragedies like the Taylor Kitsch have to happen before we say, no, that's not our big star. No, we'll tell you who the big star is going to be, right? You have to earn it, like what Timothée Chalamet is doing, with good performances, right? Well, James, have you seen that new movie with Anne Hathaway yet? That's the retorts, right? The idea of you, a barbarian. It's kind of like, and I like Travis Knight as the director, but it's kind of like, it feels like, once again, this is like a Mortal Kombat situation where it's like, this doesn't feel like the property that you're trying to tell me, like that you're telling me that you're a big fan of the movie. of the property. But then you give me somebody like Cole Young, right? Okay, well, yeah, that looks like Sub-Zero, and that looks like Scorpion. But then, who the heck is this Cole Young? It's like, did you watch the games? There's no character named Cole Young. Why is he our main character, right? Uh, that's what I'm trying to get at here, and it's irritating, and it feels like you're spinning your tires with this one. It feels like, once again, we have to go through this exercise where you're going to deliver this product to us and tell us that we have to like it, and we're going to say no, and we're starting off by saying no, but you're going to tell us, just give it a chance. It's like what should happen here is what happened with Sonic. Remember when they first came out with that Sonic trailer, and we were like, guys, no, that's not Sonic. That's, what kind of an abomination is this? And that's what we're saying now. Guys, what are you doing here? This is an abomination. There are some good actors out there already who look the part, who fit the part, and I don't know why you would not have that in there, because you know what? Alan Ritchson can act. He can act. He's got more than one gear of kind of being the lunkhead or being the big muscly guy that he is there. He's got other gears that he can shift into if you need He-Man to do that. And a He-Man story doesn't need to have that. So he should be able to carry something like that competently. I don't get it. Now, there are other people speculating that perhaps he's just going to be the Prince Adam and then he's going to transform into He-Man. I don't think that that's going to happen. I don't see this, guys. And I don't understand the reasoning behind this. It's like you don't understand the property. You don't understand the fan base. And if you don't have those first two ingredients as a producer of this, like say I was in control of this and somebody brought this to me and it was like, let's have this guy. And we tested him. He reads really well. Okay, let's see. And I look at it and I'm like, that's not He-Man, guys. Oh, don't worry, we're gonna get it. He'll get juiced up or whatever. I don't see it here, guys. I don't see it here. And it's like, well, that's not the most important part, James. Just listen to the story for. It's like, guys, we're trying to build a product here that people are going to be able to recognize and say, oh, that's He-Man. That's He-Man. Cool. You guys are doing it. Awesome. Great. And if the story doesn't land with everybody, then that's on us, right? But the fans are giving you clues here. It's like that demand thing, right? Where it's like, well, hey, people really like to have coffee, but we don't have coffee here, so we're going to put coffee here, right? So people really want a He-Man. They would like to see He-Man on the big screen, but we're not going to give him the attributes of He-Man. Does that make any sense? It doesn't make sense to me. It's a head scratcher. And it sucks because I do like the She-Ra property as well, and I wish they could get that one going as well. But this just feels like a big step in the wrong direction. It feels like this is just nonsense to me. Like, who are they going to have next as Skeletor? Who's going to be Skeletor in this movie? I'm gonna based upon this this flavor of casting. I'm going to give you a guy that they would probably cast as Skeletor, and it's the guy that they're bringing in to play Chris Farley, Paul Walter Hauser. He's our Skeletor, confirmed right here today, guys. Why? He doesn't look like him, but it doesn't matter because he's the big upcoming name right now that everybody wants to have attached to their projects. That's what this reeks of. That's what this reeks of. It doesn't fit, doesn't make sense, but we're going to go ahead and push it down your throats anyway. We don't want it, guys. And it's going to hurt the box office. I know that the show started off a little bit rough, but I apologize for that. But we got to continue on with this because we're going to be talking about reboots. Let's talk about The Crow next. Bill Skarsgård not happy with The Crow's ending. Bill Skarsgård has expressed unhappiness how The Crow ends. suggesting it may be leaving the opportunity for a sequel. So, yeah, he doesn't want a sequel then? Well, yeah, the original story didn't, because he returned. Well, if you don't know the entire Crow premise, he returns from the dead, guys, to extract his vengeance. So, what do you think happens at the end of the movie, right? What do you think happens? Uh, and then, of course, the sequels were just with other people being brought back from the dead to have their vengeance. So, like, I understand, and I think most of us understand that premise. But have they changed things around? Alex Proyas, the original director, says they didn't like it. Uh, let's see. The Crow's August release. Now, is this about his movie or what? Bill Skarsgård said that the ending of The Crow is far from satisfying and declaring. I personally preferred something more definitive. That would suggest Rupert Sanders' movie teases something more open-ended. Oh, that's not good when you come out and say your reboot is not satisfying your lead actor. Uh, Again, it's not about understanding the property, and we've saw this. Let me pull up the Crow trailer here, because the director himself said he was going for something different, that things that inspired him when he was growing up, not inspired by the property. That's why in this version he's got short hair, because he wanted to make it something like about British football fans, and a lot of British football fans had short hair with this kind of look to them. So that's why he wanted to have the Crow look like Bill Skarsgård's character look like that. Apparently, he won't be wearing the makeup until the very end of the movie. And he may not even be wearing the makeup. It's just going to be like blood or something that gets on his face. So again, it's kind of like, guys, do you understand the property? Do you understand the material? And it would seem like, even from Bill Skarsgård's mouth, no, you do not understand the property and the material. And it's going to come back and bite you on the butt. And I don't understand why producers are still greenlighting this tripe and giving it to us. I'm getting a little bit hot here. I apologize. Because I like these properties. I like He-Man. I like The Crow. And if you could come back and reboot it with an updated gothic feel to it, I'd be on board with it. But it seems like this is just going to be set up for a big, huge swing and a miss. Does anything about this reek gothic to you? Like his look? Not really. A little bit of the underworld, underground kind of stuff sort of does. But like if you look at that and you're like, that's supposed to be Eric Draven. If you're a fan of the comics, are you a fan of that? It's kind of like turning the sandworms in Dune to banthas. We don't. Let's just change. I don't think I like sandworms, because I don't like worms. And when I grew up, I really liked banthas. So we're gonna put in. Like, if Denis Villeneuve put in banthas instead of sandworms, how do you think people would react to that? That's what I'm trying to get at here, guys. I'm not saying, like, some of the action looks like it could be kind of cool, but yeah, again, it's just it's just blood on his face that sort of makes the Crow kind of look, kind of feel to it. And I agree with the people that say that he's the Joker Crow because he's got tattoos all over his face. It's because you don't understand the property. And apparently Bill Skarsgård says that he doesn't like the ending. So are you looking forward to The Crow, August 23rd, 2024? Or do you think that this is going to bomb in monumental fashion? I think it's set up for a monumental fail, man. I would move this to streaming ASAP. I wouldn't dump any more money into this at all. I'd be like, I don't want to lose money. I want to make money. I don't want to lose money, right? Speaking about Skarsgård, speaking about Bill Skarsgård, he's going to be in Nosferatu this year as well. Good year for Bill Skarsgård, at least on the work side of things. Maybe not movie side. I expect Nosferatu to be great. He's going to be playing the Count Orlok vampire in it. But he was also really good in Boy Kills World. So he's got at least, hopefully, 2 big ones. And then whatever happens with The Crow, right? Bill Skarsgård says playing the title character was like conjuring pure evil. Okay, Now, yes, Nosferatu, I would expect Robert Eggers. You know that he did his homework over this because this was something that he grew up with that inspired him, and he wants to pay respects to it, but he's also going to bring very much Robert Eggers' style to it. Like if you haven't seen The Witch, The Northman, that kind of feel and tone, The Lighthouse, right? So expect like him to bring and breathe life into it. And this is the kind of filmmaker you need for these kinds of things, like reboots and tellings of like He-Man. It's like people who liked the property in the first place, who knows what it is, right? But breathing pure evil. I'm I'm looking forward to this. So this is definitely on my most anticipated of the year list for sure. So Count Orlok, he says in an interview with Esquire, it took its toll. It was like conjuring pure evil. It took a while for me to shake off the demon that had been conjured inside of me. I don't think people are going to recognize me in it. Well, yeah, because his face is all different, right? He's gross, but it's very sexualized. It's playing with a sexual fetish about the power of the monster and what that appeal has to you. Hopefully, you'll get a little bit attracted by it and disgusted by your attraction at the same time. Well, yeah, that's the kind of angle that they took with when in that Defoe version of it, right? Nosferatu. I forget what. Yeah, there's the old movie. It's for free. You can see Count Orlok there. Uh, yeah, Parker. It was a Bill Skarsgård version where they try to make it more like a sexual kind of thing, like he was attracted to her. And, yeah, is that what he's supposed to look like? So somebody made a mock-up of it. There's no official trailer of it yet, but we'll get there. Patton Oswald is, yeah, like it is creepy looking, like right. Like look at that one right there. Like that's from the original movie. He is creepy looking. So I am looking forward to it. I'm forgetting. It was like the making of the movie, right? That Willem Dafoe was in. Shadow of the Vampire. No, yeah, Shadow of the Vampire. That's the one where he played it. John Malkovich was in that one. Wow. Okay. Yeah, but like when you get a filmmaker like Robert Eggers, you got complete trust in it. That's like you don't see me complaining about anything about this, do you? And that's where we'd like to be. Instead of kind of like always having to fight for good representation up on the screen of properties. Art Viking says, I'm going to reserve my judgment purely on basis of Bill was brilliant and Boy Kills World. What, for The Crow? I've got hopes for The Crow. Uh, but it feels like it's going to be very much an Elseworld experience, right? It'll be just like, well, this is what Crow could have been in an alternate reality kind of thing, right? That's what it's going to feel like. It's not going to feel like it's made by people who really like the source material. And I don't fault Bill Skarsgård because he's just an actor who got cast in it, and he's going to give his best performance, which he will. Like I like the weakest part of the film will not be Bill Skarsgård. It'll be the writing. It'll be uh, the execution of the story. That'll be the weakest part of The Crow. Like it won't be on Skarsgård. And maybe that's why he's issuing statements about the ending there, saying that guys, what are you doing? What are you doing? Kind of thing, right? All right, we got more. Exorcist Reboot. The Exorcist is getting a reboot, and we knew this was coming down the works, but Mike Flanagan, the guy who did Haunting of Hill House, Bly Manor, Midnight Mass, Doctor Sleep. Then we just did The Fall of House of Usher. He's a master storyteller. And then this guy, he's earned, as a creator, he's earned the respect of us horror fans and genre fans that, okay, we'll trust whatever he's going to do because he always delivers. And it's always like, he always takes it to that level where you're like, oh, wow. So if you didn't know, The Exorcist Believer came out. It made money, but it was not very well received. 22% by critics, 59% by the audience. That is indeed some low ratings. And I was not kind on this movie when it came out. It was typical run-of-the-mill fare. David Gordon Green directed this. He did Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. So it was a delight to my ears when I heard that Mike Flanagan was going to be taking up this, and they were going to course correct from what they were trying to establish with Exorcist Believer. So next Exorcist movie shifts gears with Mike Flanagan set to direct on a new take. The change in direction comes nearly 3 years after Universal announced a $400 million mega deal. Oh my God. Like why can't you just make Exorcist movies, like movies about exorcisms, without having the property of the Exorcist title to it? Because you just made 120 million with Exorcist Believer, which sucked, and everybody went out to see it because of the title. But now that you got Flanagan on board, fine. You have my complete confidence, just like Robert Eggers has mine with Nosferatu, right? Response to last year's Exorcist Believer. Horror maestro Mike Flanagan. Well, I don't know if I'd call him maestro. He's good. He's going to have a radical new take on the franchise, which is what I think needs to happen, because we don't need to go through well, I just already explained what happened with Halloween Kills and stuff. So The Exorcist is one of the reasons I became a filmmaker, and it's an honor to have the chance to try something fresh, bold, and terrifying within this universe. Reuniting with my friends at Blumhouse, with whom I've had some of my favorite pieces of work, only makes this more exciting, said Flanagan. Well, that's cool. And because he did Oculus, Hush, and Ouija, Origin of Evil. Well, Mike Flanagan is going to bring his familiar cast of people, Raul Coley, his wife, probably, who's going to show up in this. Let's just pull up the list from Fall of House. You know who would be cool in this? Mark Hamill. Carla Gugino is going to be in this probably. But they're all good actors, and these are actors that can transform. Like there's his wife right there. She always transforms. Yeah, Carla Gugino is like a staple of his. Henry Thomas is a staple of his. Raul Coley's awesome. Katie Palmer, sorry. Katie Parker, James. Jeez. Yeah, she's a staple. She's always good. But you bring like good actors, his repertoire of actors and into this, that gives me confidence. Because Exorcist Believer was like, what are you guys doing? Again, it goes back to that He-Man thing. You guys didn't seem to understand the assignment. Well, maybe they did, James. Maybe the assignment was just to slap it together as quickly as possible. Probably. And why would that happen? Because the executives up there don't have any idea of what they're doing? Well, yeah, probably. So Flanagan's hiring closes the door on planned sequel to Exorcist Believer. Yeah, there was going to be Exorcist Deceiver next, right? Let David Gordon Green go off and do his own thing. Let him try to build up a body of work with his own ideas and see if he can make something fly. And let Mike Flanagan take this over, because he's proven that he can pick up something like The Shining and make a great sequel to it. Rose the Hat, awesome. Awesome stuff. Exorcist Reboot coming down the works. Good news. So whenever a release date or window for that comes up, we'll be talking about that as soon as possible. Furiosa Box Office. People are still talking about Furiosa. And it puts on the brakes of George Miller's next Mad Max movie, The Wasteland. Yes. Now, Furiosa has made 68 million worldwide on its opening weekend. And guys, there's really nothing opening up this weekend. Nothing big. But I do expect maybe Furiosa and Garfield to flip flop. Like Garfield will take number one, and then Furiosa will be number two. But with these kinds of numbers, and the budget was like 168, right? So it's still got 100 million to make before it gets its production budget back. And that's not marketing. Marketing was more, adds more to it. This movie would have probably had to have made somewhere around 350 to 400 million to break even. And it's come up that yes, Fury Road didn't make a whole lot of money. It made around the 400 to 500 million, didn't it? It's not a property was ever going to put butts in seats on the levels that they thought that it was going to. I liked the movie a lot, and a lot of people who went out and saw it did like it. So 90% by critics, 90% by the audience. Guys, just give it a chance. That's all I'm saying. Tom Hardy's not in it. Like the Mad Max cameo was totally unnecessary in this because it wasn't Tom Hardy playing him. And you could tell, you don't see Max's face or anything, but you could tell that wasn't Tom Hardy. Why did you bother doing that? You didn't need to do that. Um, I felt like this story could have been retooled. You could have had like half the movie younger, Furiosa with Anya Taylor-Joy, and then afterwards, like the last half of the movie is Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy going after Dementis, right? It could have been easily retold that way because we were already jumping around in the timeline. Like we were making time jumps, right? There's ways that you could have massaged the story and it still would have worked out in the same ways. Same endings. But because of this haul, we're not going to get that Wasteland movie. We're not because of the cost of the production budget. Unless they can make Wasteland for 50 to 70 million, which you're going to pay Tom Hardy at least 20 million. So no, it can't. It's not going to happen. And it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. All right. Bad Boys 4. Bad Boys 4. Ride or Die lands China release. Well, that's good news for that market. The China market doesn't harm the box office at all. It usually helps. Sometimes a movie comes along like Spider-Man No Way Home that makes 1.7 billion and doesn't need the China market. Bad Boys 4 will not be like that though. Bad Boys 4 Ride or Die I think should be somewhere around 400. It should be around 400 million to 500 million. Maybe. Maybe like and I wouldn't even be shocked if it was around 350 million. It's total gross. Because there's still going to be some people that'll be on the wagon of not ready to forgive Will Smith. But for me, you've heard me in the past say that it's time for him to come out of the penalty box now. It's time. So um, I'm going to be going to see this, and I like the trailers for it. Uh, I hope it delivers because Bad Boys 3, I felt like it had a lot of heart to it. And we're going back to the well that made it have heart, which was Joey Pantoliano, right? The guy from The Matrix. You recognize him as Cypher, right? He plays a captain. Yeah, he added the heart to it, and it looks like we're going back to that connection between him and their captain, right? So that's why I'm really looking forward to it. Like they want to clear his name and stuff like that, and that sounds like a very logical and interesting place to go with the story. So I'm looking forward to that. That's next week, guys. Next week. So that's next week for us, and June 22 for the China market. Next, oh God, here we go again, guys. Here we go again. Talking about not understanding your properties. I'm tired of listening to people defend Kathleen Kennedy, saying, "Oh, she deserves to be in the Hall of Fame of producing," and it's like, I'm sorry, with the record that the way that things are going, I would say no. Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy says a lot of women in Star Wars struggle with fans or fan attacks because the fan base being so male dominated. Well, yeah, that's the Star Wars fan base. That's the people that go out and see Star Wars content. So again, it's like I want to go to McDonald's and have a Big Mac, but instead you're going to give me filet o fish because filet o fish needs more representation. Like, no, I want my Big Mac. I want my Star Wars, right? I don't want to be fed some kind of social commentary narrative. And this is what she goes on to admit here in this article from Variety, in an interview with the New York Times. The Acolyte's just around the corner next week, guys. Next week, we'll talk about the scheduling, about our watch schedule, because we will be doing full live watch-alongs for the Acolyte. But Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy said she is aware of women in the space franchise are often attacked online because more than men, because the fan base is being so male dominated. So then why are you going back to a Ridley movie, right? I like that. It doesn't compute. Again, you're shoving your agendas down our throats, like with stuff like this, like with He-Man stuff, and we don't want it. We don't want it. So I'm going to give the Acolyte a fair shake because I kind of like am intrigued by the premise. I don't like the license that has been given to these showrunners and stuff to do whatever they want with the Force, to do whatever they want with Star Wars. And it's like, George Lucas is still alive. He said it himself recently. A lot of these people just don't seem to understand the Force. Why are you not going to George Lucas and saying, please just give us, we're going to use everything that you say about the Force as our Bible. And from now on, everybody else, anybody who comes to work on Star Wars is going to use this. I want to make a lightsaber whip. That's not how the Force works, and that's not how the kyber crystals are supposed to work. But I want to do it anyway, so it's like, oh, God's sakes. No. This is what Kathleen Kennedy should be doing, putting her foot down and saying, well, no, because we went to the creator, George Lucas, and he said that this is the way that this is supposed to work. Lightsaber whip. Get out of here. Anyway, these articles are always filled with fluff. And they're like, if you don't know who Leslie Hamilton is, this is what other work she's done. As reported by the Times, a loud primordial part of the Star Wars fandom has pushed back in predictable fashion against the show, The Acolyte. Why are there so many women and girls and minority characters increasingly dominating the ranks of Jedi? Yeah, says somebody in the comments trailer. Because you're putting an agenda first. And she says, she even admits it herself right here. My belief is that storytelling my belief is that storytelling does need to be representative of all people. That's an easy decision for me. So she's putting that before creating a good story, listening to what the source material and people who created the franchise in the first place are saying. It needs to be representative. Why? Why does it need to be representative? It's about space aliens in a galaxy far, far away. We related to Yoda. And did he look like anything else that had on our planet? It was what he was saying, guys. It's about the character and the development of the story and the use of that character. It's not because, oh, it's got to be a female. And I'm like, I'll tell you this: when would you ever need to see uh, someone of color in Star Wars. Like like in that universe, way back then, over thousands of years ago. Like that was that. That wasn't necessary. Like that's not how you relate to fantasy stories. Is what I'm trying to get at, Kathleen Kennedy. You don't relate to Superman because he looks like me. No, you relate to him because he stands for, what he believes in. And she just doesn't seem to get that. She's proud that she doesn't understand that. And that's why people are biting back. That's why people are like, please, please, why are you doing this? You don't need to do this. You don't have to do this. Just concentrate on a great story first. Anyway, I do hope the Acolyte is going to deliver. There are people that are saying that it look like, who have seen the first couple of episodes and said it's not bad and you should give it a chance, right? Like this creature here. You put that in there because that's Star Wars. Why did you put this person in here? Because we need representation. Just put in a person. Like, why should that be the mandate? Right? Why do we need to have representation? And if you're going to like change things up, make them bald, put in some like, oh, yeah, okay. Where are the braids? Where's the Padawan braids that every Jedi had? Right? It's like, again, you don't seem to understand the property. You're prioritizing other things, and you bring in Carrie Ann Moss, somebody that we would actually like to see as a Jedi, but you're going to cut her down to like only appearing in one episode. It's just, I'm really excited for the guy from Squid Games. I am, and I'm hoping that he's going to be enough to carry us through this, because he's got it. He's got the gravitas, and I hope he's enough. Uh, like George said, there's only two colors, guys. And as much as we liked seeing Mace Windu with his purple one, maybe it was like opening the door for seeing stuff that's just a little audacious. Anyway, I think I'm making my point rather clear there. Um, let's just see if we can go down the comments here. Someone is killing Jedi. It's Disney. Yeah, this is 2 months ago. 687,000 dislikes. So it's got more dislikes. Again, you're not reading the people, the fan base you're not reading your audience. It's kind of like inviting someone to go watch Jaws and then start talking about trans youth. It just doesn't work. I'm looking at you, Richard Dreyfuss. You know what I mean here? Oh, hey, we're going to go see an F1 Formula race, but now it's just going to be a tractor pull. What? Because we need representation of all vehicles. It's like, no, we're signing up for certain things. And it's not hard. Why is it hard? You make a Star Wars story, and then you just cast people. You don't say, okay, we need to have a checklist of things, right? Okay, we need to have a black person. We need to have a person from China. We need to have Native American. We need to. It's like, what? And then we have to have LGBTQ representation. It's like that's before the story, and that's what's happened with Star Wars, and it really it kind of it's time to make a change. It just doesn't feel like we're going to get there. Let's change tone. I need to get out of this mind frame. Tractor pull. LOL. I get what you mean. Yeah. Okay. Viggo Mortensen, great actor. Viggo Mortensen says it could be the day to reprise Aragorn. What? Seriously? How? Viggo Mortensen doesn't know the plot for The Hunt of Gollum, but would play Aragorn once again to serve the character. Okay, so yeah, they are making a new Lord of the Rings movie, The Hunt for Gollum, directed by Andy Serkis, produced and written by Peter Jackson, right? Or at least he's having a hand in the story. So this would be like once again a prequel for Lord of the Rings, which Aragorn would be around in. He would be around in that timeline. They would have to de-age him. And in limited use, I could see it happening. That would be kind of cool to see him back, right? And if he's open to it, why not? I think it would be kind of an interesting story to see what happened after Return of the King, like him trying to reestablish governance over, was it Minas Tirith, right? That kind of thing. Like him older now, maybe dealing with some kids, maybe trying to pass the torch off to his offspring. Bring back Liv Tyler. Have like a Game of Thrones type series within Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's what I would go for. Except that would cost too much money. But anyway, to have him come back, that would be kind of cool. So, in speaking with British GQ, he says, quote, I don't know what the story is. I haven't heard. Maybe I'll hear about it eventually. I like playing that character. I learned a lot playing that character. I enjoyed it a lot. Well, so did we. I would only do it if it was right for it in terms of, the age I am now and so forth. I would only do it if I was right for the character. It would be silly to do it otherwise. Okay, so he's cognizant of like the the troubles that would come along with that. Like, oh, should we be doing it? Should we? I don't know. Would you guys be wanting to see more Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn? Because it would have to be de-aged, and because he's got the facial hair and stuff like that, there's ways that you can massage it around, right? Like smoothing out things. You don't have to smooth out as much of the face as you would if he was clean shaven. Interesting. Keep our eyes open for that. Uh, but again, with the Lord of the Rings thing, you have to be careful because fans are slamming the live action Tom Bombadil reveal. Yes, Rings of Power season 2 is just around the corner, guys. And apparently, the actor has been revealed for Tom Bombadil. Fans are disappointed with the serious portrayal of Tom Bombadil in the Rings of Power Season 2 images. Criticism has been aimed at Bombadil's lack of a smile, with fans questioning how the character will fit into the serious tone of the show. So is he more of like a comedian? Yeah, so there's the official image. The fact that our first official images of him completely straight faced without a smiling isn't a good sign. So yeah, again, if you're not reading the source material, like this could be like a freeze frame from like him just walking down the steps or some walking into a barn or something. He could be smiling later on in the shot, but it's like you've got source material for this kind of thing, guys. Do your homework. If you do your homework and show us fans that you've done it, then we'll respond in kind. But when you don't, you're going to get things like Superman's what putting on his boot while the world's blowing up behind him kind of reaction. What are you guys doing? Right? That kind of a reaction. Tom Bombadil would never have such a serious expression as this. So there are, and yes, trust me, the Lord of the Rings diehards are not. They're just as scrutinous as Star Wars fans. Yes, but I liked Rings of Power season 1. I haven't gone back to it, but I liked it at least when it came full circle by the end of it. You can step on your fan base when you're not doing things right, but we'll wait and see. Artglass says Legolas was de-aged and it worked well. I reckon they could pull it off with Vigo and more modern tech. Yeah, and also because of that beard thing, I said that they wouldn't have to worry too much about what it looks like underneath here, right? They could do it. Knives Out 3 adds more to the cast. Knives Out 3 adds Glenn Close, Andrew Scott, and Kerry Washington to the cast. Well, remember when Kaylee Spaney and Josh O'Connor was revealed earlier this week? I said that it was like an ensemble cast. We're slowly building up there now, right, to ensemble levels, which this movie should be getting ready to shoot pretty soon, from what I understand. Director Ryan Johnson loves exploring tones in a whodunit genre. Tom Hardy and Lindsay Lohan are rumored to be considered for roles. Rumored. Lindsay Lohan, she's trying to make a comeback. I'd be on board for that. Why not? Tom Hardy, you guys know, who's one of my favorite actors right now. So yeah, that would be awesome. Tom Hardy working with he already did work with Ryan Johnson in The Last Jedi. He was a stormtrooper that got cut out. His scene got cut out because it was just ridiculous. Should have cut out a lot more of that movie. But anyway, let's not digress. Knives Out Mystery, Wake Up Dead Man. It was revealed Kaylee Spaney and Josh O'Connor. Now we've got Kerry Washington, Glenn Close, and Andrew Scott. Is that all? Well, they're listing Lindsay Lohan here and Tom Hardy. So if they're in talks, then that's probably a matter of just time here before that gets solidified. It's a good cast. I'd like to see another big female name though, like a Scarlett Johansson or a Jennifer Lawrence, like that of that caliber. Or Charlize. Charlize would be awesome. Yeah. Except if you got Tom Hardy, you're not going to get Charlize because they hate each other. uh, yeah. Who else would be? You know who would be interesting? And I know a lot of people won't like it. Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez would be cool. Because I like that Atlas movie, and I have no shame about saying it. That'd be cool. So, more castings. The game is afoot. Kerry Washington, Glenn Close. Yep. Andrew Scott. So, this should be shooting rather soon, I would imagine. Because it comes out next year, right? Good times. Next. Oh, we're on to hit or miss. Okay, there is one story here I wanted to pull up. Yes. There we go. In the interim, Minecraft fans. Minecraft TV series in the works at Netflix. The studio behind Sonic Prime will handle CG animation for the series. So this will be a CG show. Minecraft. I thought this is just where you build up your own world and stuff like that. I don't know how a narrative will ever be constructed to convey that. Minecraft is considered a sandbox game, meaning players can embrace their creativity and build cities and interact with each other. The Netflix animated series marks the franchise's latest expansion and joins live events, consumer products, and much more. Should I download Minecraft, guys? I don't know. Should I play it? Should I try it out? Wasn't there a Minecraft movie in the works? Yeah, there was, wasn't there? With Jason Momoa slated for next year. Yeah, Jack Black is going to be Steve. Jennifer Coolidge. What's going on with that? Is that still happening? A malevolent inter-dragon sets out on a path of destruction, prompting a girl and a group of unlikely adventurers to set out to save the overworld. Ender Dragon, sorry. Okay, Minecraft the movie. Kate McKinnon, Jason Momoa. So it does have a cast. So now you've got a television series as well. Jennifer would be a good, perhaps having to camp it up with performance and annoy even more people. What, for a Knives Out? Yeah. Uh, Our Glass says that looks like a good supporting cast for Knives Out 3, but they need a few A-listers. Yeah. Someone of like the like an Edward Norton, like that caliber, right? Minecraft is incredibly retro and pixelated. I can't get into it. My nephew and niece play it. It's like I like the concept of building your own world, but if I'm gonna do that, I might as well just get like Sim Home or whatever it's called, like where you build up your own homes and stuff like that. Maybe I should do because I would like to reconstruct worlds that I see from my dreams and houses that I see from my dreams. Anyway, next. Jerry Bruckheimer talks Young Woman in the Sea, theatrical upgrade and terrific follow up to Top Gun Maverick. Okay, so Top Gun for Tom Cruise. This is what got my headline. Young Woman in the Sea. That's that Daisy Ridley movie where she tries to swim the English Channel. Tries to? She does, James. Oh, okay. Well, uh, apparently it's going to have a small theatrical release. But when I went to my theater listings, I couldn't find it. It's not playing anywhere in my close proximity. Let me try in Toronto. Let's see if it's going to be playing in Toronto. We'll go to Etobicoke here, and we'll adjust it to May 31st. Yeah, when I say there's not much out, okay, so at least they're playing Hitman there. But we'll watch that on Netflix when it drops. Ezra, Strangers, Sight, Babes. Still playing Civil War. Wow. The Great Escaper. Huh. But no, not even in Toronto they're playing. They're not going to be playing Woman in the Sea. Woman in the Sea is it says Disney there, so is that going to be on Disney Plus? I want to see it actually because I do like Daisy Ridley as an actress, and I want to see how different it is from Nyad, which I really liked. Like if she has the same kind of struggles of like passing out and stuff like that. There's an aspect of it that I admire because it's kind of like it's an idea that gets stuck in your head. I'm going to swim the English Channel. I'm going to do it. And when you try it and you fail, it's like, no, I'm still going to go back and do it. I know I can do it, right? And that's the kind of mentality that you want when you have your own goals of like, I'm going to write a song. I'm not going to stop until I do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to complete it. Yeah, that kind of thing. But if it does play, like I even checked the art house theater near me, and it's not playing there either. I do want to see it. So a terrific follow up to Top Gun. What's he talking about here? Ah, so there are a few certainties. Whoa, there are a few certainties in the entertainment industry, but when a film grosses 1.4 billion worldwide, a sequel becomes an inevitability. Tom Cruise and Joseph Kosinski are working on a threequel, huh? I think we have a terrific story. If it's just a what? Why are you doing that? I'm not even pressing up, guys. I'm just clicking it. I think we have a terrific story. It's just a question of how do we get everybody together and how do we get it done, Bruckheimer says. Tom's very busy. He's got a lot of movies lined up and he's a very in demand actor. So we'll have to get a good screenplay and hopefully we'll make it as much as we will. And hopefully he'll like it as much as we will. And then it go on to a big, longer kind of Q&A there. I think, is there more to tell for Top Gun? I would say no. You went back to the well, and it worked out. It worked out really well. I know the traditional thing when you make that much money, like I agree with Bruckheimer that when you make that much money, it seems inevitable, but you can easily ruin it. And I'm looking at examples like Indiana Jones 4 and 5. Like that would have been just better if they just left those ones alone, right? You got two really good movies, and I still think Top Gun Maverick's better than the first one. And it seemed like a good way to leave that character alone. What else could you do, right? Come out of retirement again? Not again. Venice Film Festival is just around the corner. Joker 2, Angelina Jolie's Maria. Queer is going to be there. Modi is I'd for the lineup. Yeah, we just got over con. I'm gonna make a video about this kind of stuff because these old film festivals, while they're cool in premise, I think they're dated. They're the old way of marketing movies. Uh, this is suited a time where people didn't have their phones, right? Uh, where he had to collect people together to watch these movies and start generating buzz because they would have to go back to their cities and start spreading word of mouth that way. That's what I mean here. Uh, and it's not like that anymore because you can have like a virtual film festival with influencers, and they would do a better job of spreading word of mouth than journalists will, going to Venice, going to Cannes. And I think part of why movies maybe are not doing so well in theaters, not the main reason, but it is definitely a part of it, is because of marketing and because of this old school mentality. And I think it's time to maybe progress and move forward for that, right? You're just jealous because you don't get to go, James. No, 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 it's not that. Because I want movies to succeed. I do. Even He Man and the Masters of the Universe, I want it to succeed. Even though I'm critical about it, and at times it sounds like I'm not, but I want it to succeed. Even Rebel Moon Part 2, James? Uh, maybe not. Rebel Moon Part 2 Director's Cut earns R rating with strong bloody violence and gore. The violence and gore is not going to save this movie because we got a story issue here. We've got script issues here. Uh, the Scargiver has earned an R rating. I was not happy with my experience with Scargiver the first time around. Adding more violence and gore to it is not going to make it any better. That's not what. That's not going to change the fundamental problems of the film, for me at least. Rebel Moon Part 2 has been rated R for strong, bloody violence and gore throughout, strong sexuality, nudity, and some language. Nudity, huh? Yeah, I feel like the nudity is kind of a unnecessary thing. The events of the two films which draw inspiration from Seven Samurai. Yeah, well, we don't need to go down that. Sell. I'm out. No, I don't want to talk about Rebel Moon. The simple fact is that people are paying for subscriptions and theaters charge the price of 2 months subscription per movie. They have to address this issue too. Yeah, good call there, Art Glass. Yeah, because I was looking at uh, Max, because I'm going to have to sign up for Max in June here so we can watch House of the Dragon. And that's $22, right? So I'll have to have it for a couple months. $42. That's if I take somebody else to the movie and popcorn, that's for one night experience for a couple of hours, $44 for 2 months of Max. Like the math just makes more sense just to get Max, right? I'm not really getting Max. It's called Crave. Sorry, it's called Crave here in Canada. Aye. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing. Is that it for hit or miss, James? National Treasure 3 will see all principal actors return and feature Sean Bean's villain. Director John Turteltaub offers some hugely exciting details. Well, this is just all speculation because National Treasure 3 has not yet been greenlit. Turteltaub hints the return of Sean Bean's villainous character, Ian Howe, in National Treasure 3. So, there's a very, very good writer writing it now who tends to write really good movies. And if the script comes out close to good and you can see the finish line from there, we're going to make the movie. Well, you're going to have to find a backer first. No studio has greenlit this yet, and no actors have signed on to it. We know that Nicolas Cage would like to come back for it. He goes on to say there's no one who doesn't want to make it. We all want to make it because we all have tremendous affection, not just for it, but for each other. It's about love. The cast really enjoyed making it. We enjoyed the success of it, and would really be fun to go do that again. So yeah, we all want to make this movie. Sean Bean was the bad guy in the first one, right? Or was it the second one? I'm glad that they all had fun with it. Uh, I I had fun with it too. This is a series where it's like, why haven't they made it yet? They made that weird TV show that came out and nobody talked about. I would be on board with it. It was fine. It was fun, harmless fun at the theater. Just don't have like $100 million budget. Have like a $40 million budget. Some business news. Activist investor Nelson Peltz sells Disney stake after losing proxy battle. Yeah, remember he was trying to have like a hostile takeover of the board, Disney board. He was going to oust Bob Iger, and his agenda was going to be to get rid of all of the social commentary and messaging and stuff. So they had that side of it where it seemed like it was good, but he's not really a creator himself. He's just more of the anti-establishment, well, not anti-establishment, because he is the establishment. He's more uh, on the right wing side of ideologies. So he's going to sell his stake, whatever. Yeah, you lost. Some people will try to spin it as him tucking tail and running away, but no, you took your shot. It was a swing, it was a miss. But what else are you going to do? Hold on to a stake that you don't really care about? So, no, I don't really fault him for selling it. Whatever. That's pretty much where I stand on that. National Treasure 3 is music to my ears. Yeah, Sean Bean will have served his time in prison from the first movie. I need to go back and revisit that. Is that on Disney Plus? Let me just pull up my Disney Plus here and see if it's on there. Because if it is, maybe we can do watch alongs for it. Uh oh, the first Omen's on Disney Plus. Did I just see that? It is. Huh. Maybe we can set up some watch alongs. Oh, this is that TV series, right? Edge of History. Yeah, this came and went, and nobody really said anything about it. The few people that did were like, meh, from what I remember, right? I thought it was supposed to have, what was it? Yeah, Catherine Zeta Jones. Is that her right there? Okay. Meh. But the movies I will want to watch. Now, did I see First Omen? Okay, I did. Boy, do I want to watch that? No. No, get that off my screen. Under the Bridge. The Veil. Beach Boys. Simpsons. Doctor Who. Huh. Oh, Canada Collection. Do I want to subject myself to another viewing of the First Omen? No. Shogun, I do want to watch, but I don't know if I want to watch it as like watch-alongs because it's just not. I've looked at other people's channels, and unless you're really big, it's just it doesn't get the viewership. So I may end up watching it by myself, and I may. I think what I'll do is I'll react to it and do reactions the way that I did for um, Queen's Gambit. I think that's the only way that we could do it. Because I read Parents Guide that apparently it's got some nudity in there or something, right? People getting beheaded and stuff. I do want to see it. I'll have to tee it up one night. Next, is that it? Yes. All right. So let's go on to some hit or miss. You need to watch you need to concentrate on Shogun. Watch it in private, James. Yeah, I'm thinking that's what I need to do. All right, what do we got here? Jeremy Renner. Now that's an A cast listing right there. Jeremy Renner. That's good news. I like that. Knives Out 3, good. Now, is that updated? Let's refresh. So that's breaking news. Jeremy Renner added to the cast of Knives Out 3. Sebastian. Parasite was 5 years ago. Really? The Bike Riders, June 21st. I'm looking forward to it. We Were Liars. Prime Video series. Empire Magazine, new cover out with Beetlejuice. New trailer for Kinds of Kindness. Okay, that movie's that movie will be playing at the Art House Theater next month. I saw the listings for it. Well, I was looking at I was trying to look for The Woman in the Sea. I found that it had listings for Kinds of Kindness, so I will be seeing it. Joker Folie Dieu will reportedly premiere at Venice. Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about all those being at Venice. I don't even know who the heck these people are. Aaron Moten, Fallout, right? He was my pick to pick up the reins of the Kang character in the MCU. Aaron Moten and Ella Purnell. Lucy, good photo. Actually, I like that. I'll give that the old heart. Anna Sawai, Sophie Thatcher, more Ella Purnell. Really looking forward to Fallout Season 2. Havana Rose. So more Nicholas Galitzine. Yeah, I don't see it in his face. I'm sorry. Glenn Powell says he screwed up his audition to play Captain America. Captain America. I can joke about it now. Jonah Howard King, happy birthday. First poster for Outrun with Saoirse Ronan. Good for her. Always looking forward to her work. Paul Mescal and Natalie Portman in London. Wait a minute, they smoke? Or is that for a show? For a movie? Are they shooting a scene? She doesn't smoke, does she? Natalie, you smoke cigarettes. Ah, Exorcist Reboot. Yeah, we talked about that. So there doesn't seem to be a whole lot more. Glenn Close, Knives Out 3. Yeah, we know that. Sandra Huller joins Ryan Gosling in Project Hail Mary. It follows a middle school science teacher, Ryland Grace, played by Gosling, wakes up on a spaceship with no memory of who he is or how he got there. Well, that's weird. Okay, I'd be on board for that. Hero finds Tiffin to star as young Sherlock Holmes in an upcoming series from Amazon. Guy Ritchie set to direct. So we got a bunch of actors on actors series coming up. I'll watch the Elizabeth Debicki one. All right, that's pretty much it. Kim Kardashian's not really much of an actress yet. She's only done one thing. Why is Edmonton meat trending? Do I want to know? The Edmonton meat, that's what I call the media because they're raw, dead, and dumb. Talking about the Oilers. Yeah, winning last night. Is that what they call Edmonton meat? Is that why that's trending? If you want to see some bad punditry, sports punditry, uh, see some of the Toronto's about coverage for the Maple Leafs. Oi! All right, guys, that's it. That's all for today. Come join us tomorrow, and I'm going to cut out some of these stories and put them up separately. I don't know what else I got on the can. I've got one idea for a next worst casting. Jared Leto's Joker, I think I want to do. But that's about it. For today, whoops, for today at least. That's all I got. I'm just looking to see if there's new trailers. Doesn't appear to be. All right. There's some exclusive looks for Quiet Place Day 1. That's it. See you next time, guys. Thumbs ups and enjoy the rest of your day. You're watching Mirror Domains.